All right, guys, today we're just going to do the
Hello.
homework. Hello, Melanie. We're going to start the homework right now, so you can
Okay.
mute your mic, okay? So we're going to do 12 to 14. This one is slightly different because before, like here and here, we want to break up the units. So like on the left, you need to add a 2. On the right, you need to add like a 2x, 3x or something. Here, because it's x plus 1 and x minus 3, they're locked in together. So they're like a pair or a unit as one. And thus, we can't mix the x's or anything. So what we need to do is take this x minus 3 and multiply the top and the bottom of the left one. And we got to take this x plus 1 and multiply the top and the bottom of the right one. Okay? So let's do that. The left side, and let me do it, I'll do it in red. The left side, I'm going to multiply x minus 3 on both top and bottom. What's really important is that you must distribute that 3 to both the x and the minus 3. Sometimes we forget to distribute. So the left side is going to become 3x minus 9 all over, well, let's worry about the all over later, plus over here, and I'll do it in blue.
Is this the homework?
Yeah, this is the homework.
Okay.
So this is going to be 2 times x plus 1.
Sorry, Mr. I mixed up.
That's fine, that's fine. I'll take the attendance at the end of the class, so if you're here, that's good. So over here, we're going to go 2x plus 2. Remember, you got to distribute. And then the bottom is simply going to be both of these two terms next to each other. So what does that mean? It's going to look like x plus 1 times x minus 3. We do not want to FOIL it out. The reason is we liked it in factor form because if there's possible to simplify, for our examples, we'll never have a situation like that. But if there ever was, we would rather have it FOILed. And it's a little easier for you. You don't have to do any math on the denominator, essentially. You're just putting them next to each other. Okay, so I'm here. So now I'm going to combine them into one fraction line. Now, when you add a fraction, the denominator stays the same. They have to be in common first, and they need to stay the same. So the denominator is real easy. I'm just recopying this. The top, I want to combine any like terms that I see. So I see a x to the 3x, and I see a 2x. Since it's a plus sign, 3x plus 2x is 5x. Over here, I see a negative normal 9, no numbers, a constant, and I see a positive 2. Negative 9 plus 2 is going to be a negative 7. At this point, we can't simplify anymore. This 5x is locked in, and we are done. We're happy with that. So that is number 1 right there, or number 12, I guess. Okay. Any questions so far on any of that? You can unmute yourself if you wish to. Okay, seems like no questions. Let's move on. The second one. This looks weird because this is a whole number 3. What are we going to have to do? Well, we're going to have to change this into a fraction. So let's rewrite it as 3 over 1. Start off with that. Just make it 3 over 1. Now, like I said, this x plus 4 is a unit. They go together. So what I'm going to have to do is take this x plus 4 and multiply here. What's really nice, though, is the 1 gets multiplied here, but 1 doesn't change anything. So it makes our life a little easier. So on the left, it's still going to be 6 over x plus 4 because times 1 doesn't change anything. That's really nice for us. And I'm going to do minus. And then here, it's going to be 3 times x plus 4. I have to make sure to distribute. Now, on the video, what I said is to make the 3 a negative 3. So let's say it's a negative 3. So I'm going to pretend it's a negative 3, which means this is plus, right? So negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And negative 3 times a positive 4 is a negative 12. When you make the 3 a negative, you could put the inside positive. So then this is still x plus 4 though. Okay. And that in mind, we're going to go and rewrite as one big fraction. The bottom is still x plus 4, very straightforward, just x plus 4. No biggie there. The top, negative 3x has no friends, no like terms, so it just stays normal, negative 3x. And the reason I chose x first is just because it has an x. And the 6 and the negative 12, though, are alike. They're like terms. So 6 plus negative 12 is negative 6. At that point, we could circle it. We are done. With that in mind, does anyone have any questions on number 13? The big.
Can you just
Yeah, I have a
explain?
question. Sorry.
I think Jess first.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, I don't have questions, but can you do another problem?
I'm going to do 14 also, okay? All right, Jess? Jess, try to start it early first while I answer Elisa's question, if Elisa has a question. Or who, I don't know who had a
I
question.
didn't really get it though, so I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, so pay attention extra hard then. Anyone else had a question?
I don't
Yeah,
get it.
thank you.
Somebody go first. You choose.
Okay. So they're both the same answer, but in the answers it says -3 and then in parentheses x plus 2 over x plus 4. Which one's correct? Like, is the one you did correct? Like, what's the difference?
This one's correct. What they did is simplified more. I don't expect you to simplify more.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, for this one? This
Yeah,
one,
it
number
says
13?
-3 and then in parentheses it says x plus 2 over x plus 4.
Oh, they took out the 3 on top. You see how they both have 3? So
Yeah.
you factored out the 3. I don't expect you to do that, so you're good. Okay. And I think Kaplan, did you say
Yeah,
something?
I'm just so confused with like what's going on.
So this is the same as the lesson video today. I'm going to have to make all the Zooms mandatory. So what I'm going to do is post the video lesson, and then I'm just going to go over the homework.
No, Mr. Doble, please don't.
Sorry, it's
Hey, why do we have to have it? Why do we have to have it mandatory every day now?
every time we have class.
Yeah.
A couple of reasons. Biggest reason is that a couple of the survey results says that a lot of people feel like they have to teach themselves in a negative sense. So I have to make sure I do some actual teaching, even though
Mr.
the videos.
Doble, your videos are great.
Yeah.
I know, but this is what
They
I'm
don't
saying.
work.
so we
I
can do
really
better.
like the videos. Like
They don't
when I had
work.
to study for the test and I was watching over the videos,
So even though the
it
videos,
really helped.
even though the videos are good, I struggle. Like when you're live, it's easier. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Some people like videos, some people like live. I should do the best of both worlds and do both.
Live.
But then it shouldn't be mandatory that we have to come to the Zoom.
Well, then I need something for class
Not that I don't want to
participation,
see you
so
every
show up to
day,
Zoom.
but
You can even turn off your camera, like most of the people are, and relax. Maybe even walk away from the computer. But it's more effective to actually watch and listen and ask questions. So.
How to distribute?
All right. I heard distribute. So I don't know.
Mr. Doble.
What are you doing with the 4x plus 4?
The x plus 4 here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to the -3 is going to distribute to both the x and the 4.
Okay.
Okay. And the reason I do that is because x plus 4 is on this side.
Okay.
And Racheli, I think you were saying something.
Oh yeah, I was saying that you're the best.
I appreciate that. That
I love your teaching, Mr. Tobo.
You know,
Yeah, you're
does
a
warm my
good
heart,
guy.
guys. I really do appreciate it. Well, let's get one more question down, and then I'll let you guys go. Okay. So the benefit is if it's a video lesson, I only have to hold you for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes for Zoom, because then we could just go over the homework. All right. So same issue as 12 and as 13. We have an x minus 4 in the denominator, and we have an x plus 2 in the denominator. So this issue is they're locked in together. So I can't separate the x's or the 4 or the 2. So I have to take all of x plus 2 and multiply it up here, and all of x minus 4 and multiply it up here.
Why do we have to multiply it up there?
The reason is because before we can add or subtract fractions, they have to have a common denominator. And this is the action to make them have a common denominator.
Oh, so you just basically like flip the weight. So like that would be x plus 2, and then for the other side you would do x minus 4. The top.
Yes. Flip maybe is not the right term. Let's say, what did I say? They share each other. They share. This
Will
shares
it
the
always
x4 over
be
here.
like this?
This is the x plus 2 over here.
Mr. Toval,
Mhm.
will it always be like this where it does the opposite top thing? This?
For 12 to 14, those type of questions, yes. Sometimes you get a question like number 10 where you want to find what's unique first.
Mm-hmm.
So those are two different
You
types. of
only
questions.
do it by the top, not by the bottom.
Well, the bottom's going to be the same anyway, because I'll tell you what the bottom's going
Got
to be. It's just going to be x minus 4 and x plus 2. So that's why I say focus on the top. That's the actual where math is
Okay.
going on, you know? So let's do it. Do the first one
The
in blue.
bottom will always be the same?
Yes. Well, that's your goal
Okay.
to make them the same, yeah. So
Alright.
I
See.
distribute the x.
It will always be right there.
Yeah, they should always be the same. So I'm going to distribute the x. X times x, that's x to the 1 power times x to the 1 power. You add them is x to the 2nd power. So x to the 2nd power.
How did we do x to the 1?
If you don't see an exponent, Jess, it's a 1 power.
Okay.
And then 2 times x is just 2x.
I'm sorry. I see what you're doing, but I can never do this on my own, like for a homework.
I mean, you got to practice a bit. So I recommend just trying it
So
yourself. What I would suggest this then, Jess. You go.
Okay.
Homework due tonight or tomorrow?
This homework is going to do to this one actually should be due
Friday.
Friday. Yeah, this one should be due Friday. I do have a homework that's due
Homework
tonight,
is
and I
still-
do have a homework that's due tomorrow. But that
Oh,
was for
Mr.
previous
Toval,
days.
did you see all my homeworks I did throughout this quarantine? Well, even if it's late, did it still catch up my grade a little?
If it's in there, it's going to catch up your grade compared to not being in there. So if you have it in there, that's good. Okay. All right. So let's continue.
Mr. Tob,
Go ahead, Rafi. Yeah, Rafi. I saw you submitted some of your stuff too. So
I hope you have some mercy. I mean, now there's no excuse, but before, I was not able to do the Zooms because of I was sick.
no, I understand. And I think what's the Hebrew root for mercy? Rachem. Yeah, I'll give it
Ra-
to you. There you go.
Mr. Tobal, just the thing is that what's it called again? That I know I wasn't doing well before, and I really struggled with the online version.
Yeah. Some people are going to struggle. Some people are going to like it. It's a thing. It's just we have to deal with it. So I'm trying the best to help both sides.
I appreciate
Struggle
that.
people who help.
I appreciate that, Mr. Tobal.
No problem. Okay, so let's continue. This -3 is going to get distributed to the x
Wait, hold-
and the -4.
Am I obligated to bring in the homeworks that I missed? Because like I didn't know the lessons or anything.
I mean, there's zeros until you fix somehow, some way. So, like, if you ever submit them, then you are able to do it. And Sophia, I saw your message. It's okay. You could text her. That's okay. So we have -3x. So -3 times x is -3x. And we have -3 times positive, or I'm sorry, -3 times -4.
Why is it a plus?
It's
I
positive.
made it a
stuff.
plus because I'm taking the negative and dragging it to the 3 over there. I'm like dragging over 3, and then we put a plus in the space.
Okay.
I find it easier for most people to do it like that because then you're like, oh, I don't have to think about, oh, am I minusing a negative? They like just doing plus.
Whoops.
So -3 times -4 is a positive because it's double negative, 12. And I'm going to be a little lazy here, but I'm going to copy, paste. Didn't work. Whatever. But it's going to be x minus 4 and x plus 2. Notice, Jess and everyone else, the same. The bases are the same. The denominators, I should say. Okay.
Okay.
Now we're going to move it into one big fraction. So the denominator is still the same, x minus 4, x plus 2. The top, we're going to combine some like terms. So first one, x squared. There's nobody like x squared. So x squared is going to be by itself. Next one, let's do orange. 2x goes with negative 3x. 2x plus negative 3x is going to be negative 1x. So just a negative x here. And then green, we have plus 12. There ain't nobody else to go with plus 12. So it's just
Oh yeah,
plus 12.
plus 12. Good
Okay.
idea.
Yeah. So this, guys, is as far as I expect you to go. I'm sure the answer is going to reduce this more, but for our level, we just stop right there. We're happy, okay?
How much problems are there? Is 12 through 14? That's it?
That's it. So we just
So-
did all the homework.
Can I send this to you?
Absolutely. That's what I want everyone to do. Is
Thank
take the
you,
picture
Mr.
and send it
Tobel.
in.
What
Now,
a good person.
before anyone leaves, I gotta take attendance, so I'm gonna write it down. I'll call out your name when I have you written down. And I'm just gonna pull up my cameras. If you have a question, ask me now while I write down attendance. Okay. Honey Wallner, Ellie Coopersmith, Lily Kaplan, Eliza Filer, Yehuda Kornecki, Melanie A, Jess M, Rachel E, Racheli B,
Yep, that's me.
Rafi K, Gabe I.
I miss Yehuda Kornecki so much.
I just haven't done the homework, by the way.
That's fine. Sophia Lax,
How
Nope.
are you?
Have a good day.
Lily Steiner. Yeah, I imagine because otherwise.
Doesn't matter which one you do first. Like if
Hold on.
you do like for
If
number
you heard,
12,
wait a second, Kaplan. If you heard me say your name, I wrote you down. You're good to go. Make sure you
Thank
submit
you.
that homework,
Thank
okay?
you.
what time is the homework
Thank you,
due?
Mr. Tobel.
Good. What's up, Steiner? You had a question before you left or no?
When's it due?
This homework that I posted today is due Friday, but we just
Got it.
did the homework, so that might be helpful.
Thank you.
No problem. Kaplan, you were having a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like for number 12, I like distributed like the x plus 1 to the top of 2.
X plus 1 to the top of the 2. Yes.
Yeah, but like doesn't matter which one I do first. Like if I do 2x plus 1, no, because it doesn't matter because the denominators are the same, right? Like
For number 12 or for number?
Like for number 12, and like let's say I did 2x plus 3 before I did the 3, before I did x.
You could make this, make sure you distribute correctly. So 2x plus 2, right? 'Cause it's
Yeah.
series. And then you could write afterwards, that's fine. Like behind it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
3x minus 9. That's okay. Just be careful because when it becomes a negative 3 or a minus sign, that could be tripped up if you don't distribute like negatively.
Okay.
I would suggest try to keep it the same order because you could definitely flip it in accident. And what's going to happen is basically all your answers are going to be the negative of the correct answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Raheli, you're all good?
Yes, Mr. Tobel.
All right. See you around, okay?